Morph, Curse of the Bitch, a short story by novelist Raquel Zepeda Fitzgerald, narrated by Eva. Her author website is rzfbooks.com.
Chapter 1. Loretta was simply sick and tired of it. It didn't start with rap music, but the genre definitely added to the problem. Sometimes you just have to wonder about things changing but seeming to stay the same. We are in the 21st century and still, women are being treated like second-class citizens. Loretta was sure she'd heard the cashier whisper bitch to her. In the name of civility, Loretta had decided not to make a scene. Just because she'd noticed that the cashier had overcharged her and said something about it, she was given a reprimand. Instead of an apology, she'd gotten dirty looks from the people waiting in line and the cashier. Someday, Loretta thought, she'd get her revenge on all those nasty people. Surely, karma would get them and she'd have the last laugh. Loretta went to work the next day in her old Mazda RX-7. She refused to trade it in or sell it. It was the best car she'd ever had. They tried to steal it a couple of years ago, but she put a kill switch in it and the car was dead, unless you knew where the on switch was. This car couldn't even be hot-wired. It was a great system. Doing the speed limit at 45 miles per hour, she suddenly heard the blasting sound of a horn, and a young man driving a BMW passing her while giving her the finger and yelling, "Move over, bitch." A trail of rap music evaporated from his vehicle as he passed her. Loretta's blood was boiling. Chill, mellow out, it's Friday, she said to herself. Loretta arrived at her place of employment, a legal support services company named Wheels of Justice. Loretta hated that name because they were not a law office and she felt it was misleading. Nonetheless, it had been her place of employment for over 10 years and she did love her work. She got paid well and had health benefits. The only thing she didn't like were some of the younger employees, who seemed to resent older people like Loretta. Loretta referred to them as the FB generation, referring to Facebook, because they seemed to be more concerned with social media than their jobs. Loretta Duran was a very attractive woman, whose good looks were disguised by her big glasses and baggy clothes. She'd learned early on that being pretty could be quite a handicap. Men harassed you and other women hated you. Without the camouflage, Loretta had large amber eyes that matched her copper-colored hair. Standing at 5 feet 7 inches weighing 130 pounds, she was in good shape. Her skin was a smooth olive tone which gave her a tanned look. She usually worked quietly except for some moments when she found humor in something. Then, you could hear her loud laughter which shocked people who didn't know her well. Most of the workforce was female, but recently more men were getting in the field of documentation work. It was understandable because it was steady work and it paid well. You probably wouldn't become a millionaire, but you'd live well enough. Unfortunately, it was starting to change the ambience of her workplace. Since men tend to be so much more aggressive, you could see the resentment in their eyes. They were new to the office but wanted to be in charge. Fat chance, Loretta thought. Hey Loretta, you want to join us for happy hour after work? We're going to Lucky's around the corner. They're serving free appetizers, Becky asked. Becky was a co-worker. They'd known each other for over 5 years. She'd been a good friend and Loretta appreciated the invitation. Thanks, Beck. I'm staying inside tonight. I'm going to an estate sale with Larry early tomorrow. Thanks anyway, Loretta declined. Antiquing, sounds like fun, Becky commented and walked to her cubicle. Loretta and her brother Larry often went out to estate sales to buy items for an antique store they owned together. They'd inherited it from their mother who'd passed away 3 years ago. Her name was Jenny and she'd raised both Loretta and Larry by herself. She'd once explained that their father was not around because he'd been an embezzler who died in prison. They never learned much more about their father, Louis James Duran. Loretta felt that their family had some sort of romance curse. She was now 45 years old, her brother was 48 and neither had a significant other. Yes, there had been lovers and boyfriends/girlfriends, but it always ended in a whimper. Maybe the Durans just didn't have enough passion. It was a bright and beautiful morning, and Loretta was waiting and ready to go by 7:30 a.m. The company that ran these sales believed in getting an early start and that's when the prices were much better. Let's go, Larry said as Loretta climbed into his Jeep. What's all the excitement about? Loretta asked. Don't you know whose estate this is? Who? Pray tell. It's that crazy woman, Carlotta Mackenzie. Oh, that's right, the city's witch. How could I forget? When did she pass? Yes, if only people knew about one of Silver Lake's biggest secrets. Oh, she died about a month ago. The best part about this is that this sale is by invitation only. Larry and Loretta high-fived each other. So it's only open to the trade. Loretta was happy to hear it. That meant that only professionals such as furniture brokers and store owners could attend and purchase items. It also meant the prices would be lower. Correctamento, Larry said with glee. Loretta laughed out loud and said, "Your Spanglish is terrible." The Durants were at the sale for 2 hours and bought several furniture items when Loretta noticed one item. It was a butterfly pendant sitting inside a glass case along with other antique-looking jewelry. "Look at that, Larry. Isn't it just beautiful?" "Really, Loretta? Another butterfly pendant? It's about time you got over this childhood butterfly obsession, don't you think?" The clerk gave Larry a dirty look and turned to talk to Loretta. "The butterfly symbol is very powerful indeed. It is a symbol of the magic of the universe, a manifestation of the god Morpheus. Imagine a mirror morphing into this beautiful creature. It is nothing short of a miracle. This pendant can give you powers, many powers. Senora Mackenzie wore it always and only I knew that because I was her maid. Her family does not appreciate it as you can see from the price, but it is very valuable and powerful, and so it was that Loretta acquired the beautiful pendant who she named Morphe, her new good luck charm." Thank you for listening. The Morph audiobook will be available in June 2023. For more information, please go to rzfbooks.com.